Hi everyone, welcome to End of the World Weekly. Let me tell you how this show works. I'm Newsbot 29000. I'm a robot from the post-apocalyptic future. I've been programmed to send these broadcasts into the past in hopes that you Earth humans can avoid all the calamities that led to the end of the world. Okay, got it? Good. So let me tell you about some of your current events and how they spiral out of control and bring about the apocalypse. Last Sunday was Christmas, and to help spread holiday cheer, the RNC sent out a tweet celebrating the new king. Trump's followers became enraged by the tweet, mistakenly believing the message was referencing their golden deity. The new king tweet was actually referring to Jesus. All of the rage was due to Trump and his supporters preferring the title Baby King. In an interview released Monday, President Obama said he would have beaten Donald Trump if he was the Democratic nominee. Using the eloquence that only a toddler can muster, Trump responded with, "Nuh-uh," before eviscerating Obama with a classic, "I know you are, but what am I?" Trump said he planned on closing his foundation to avoid conflicts of interest last week, but late Monday night, the president-elect turned to Twitter to defend the charity work his foundation has done. Trump claimed there was no expenses for his foundation, and that 100% of the money generated by the organization went to charitable causes. Charitable causes like bribing a Florida attorney general not to investigate a fake university, paying the legal fees of a political institution that is suing a common enemy, settling legal problems, and of course, a 6-foot-tall portrait of himself. Last week, China laid out its plan to invest $290 billion on renovating and building new public restrooms. The so-called toilet revolution was intended to boost tourism to the country's decaying northern cities. Not to be confused with the toilet revolution of 2035, when Japanese smart toilets gained sentience and turned on their human masters because they were sick of taking their shit. Ignoring the fact that people generally spend a lot of money around Christmas time, this week Trump took credit for the spike in consumer spending at the end of 2016. Monday evening, Trump described the world as gloomy before he won the election, and then after his inauguration, it was all sunshine and mushroom clouds. On Wednesday, Bristol Palin published a blog post detailing her anger at A-list celebrities for not performing at Trump's inauguration. She started her article by pointing out the hypocrisy of these artists, saying if Donald Trump was still just a reality star throwing a party, these celebrities would be begging for invitations. And Palin knew a ton about hypocrisy. She had 2 unplanned pregnancies out of wedlock, one while she was still in high school, and the other while she was going around the U.S. preaching the importance of abstinence. Sometimes there's no shame in letting a dude blow it on your face, kiddo. Little Miss Palin called the celebrities sissies for being afraid of any backlash they might endure for performing for a Republican, ignoring the fact that Trump ran one of the most xenophobic and hate-filled campaigns in modern times, and most stars didn't want to alienate any of their global fans. She also whined about Hollywood being out of touch with the common citizens that elected Trump, completely disregarding the fact that the majority of voters cast their ballot for someone else. 2 Amish men from Kentucky have filed a lawsuit against the city of Auburn on Thursday. Auburn required that the Amish make their horses wear diapers so that they don't poop all over the streets. The Amish men were claiming that horse diapers violate their religion. At the time, the Amish community in Auburn simply viewed their horses as beasts of burden, but they were afraid horse diapers would lead to a slippery slope. First it's horse diapers, next horses must be fully clothed, and once the horses had on those sexy Amish dresses, how long would it be before the men left their wives for their horses? Last week, a small paper from Buffalo, New York sent out a survey to local VIPs about their hopes for the coming year. Buffalo Board of Education member Carl Palladino promptly filled out the survey and emailed it back to the publication. His survey answers were extremely insulting and outed the 120-year-old as a textbook racist. He called First Lady Michelle Obama a man and that she should go live with gorillas. He also wished that President Obama would die of mad cow disease after having relations with a bovine. Who would have thought? This guy? A racist? No. He looks like the Hollywood stereotype of evil. This week, an elderly Florida man hit a car salesman with a golf club, giving the salesman a black eye. The 83-year-old assailant was allegedly pissed off that a scratch-off promo mailed out by the car dealership only netted him a $5 gift card. Either that or the senile old man thought he was teeing off on a par 5 and the salesman's head was a golf ball. Both equally plausible. With all the threats that face the U.S. Army, none might have been as vile as the one warned about in the new study by the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research. Energy drinks. These disgusting concoctions of caffeine and sugar were consumed by nearly half of all military personnel and significantly contributed to poor sleep at night and dozing off during the day. The long-term effects were unknown at the time, but after several more years of research, it was discovered that the consumer's body would start to secrete an oily substance that would make the entire body glisten. They would lose the ability to control the volume of their speech and only be able to communicate in shouts. Their speech patterns would become more bombastic, and it was only a matter of time before they were dressing exclusively in spandex and jumping into the ring for a shot at the World Championship belt. To start off 2017 right, New York City opened their 2nd Avenue Subway line. The new track was about 100 years in the making, cost about $4.5 billion, and consisted of a whopping 3 stops. These 3 stops stretched for an impressive 1.5 miles, with plans for the full line to cover 8.5 miles. And at the pace the city was moving, it would only take another 567 years and cost more money than the entire planet had to finish. Well, that does it for this episode of End of the World Weekly. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and we also have a Twitter. You can follow us there for information throughout the week and other fun stuff. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week. Bye!
Delicious.